Hello guys, and welcome to a new WARNO video today by me, Vulcan. In this one I have for you a 10 vs 10 on Dark Stream, and I'm going to be playing with the 3rd US Armoured Division. I wanted to share this replay with you guys today because it was a great example of combined arms warfare. So let's go ahead and have a look at what we're getting down. We've got an M3A1 Bradley CFV leading the charge with its Recon. We've then following it up with a couple of Black Hawks, which are going to be bringing in aero rifles, which on this map looks absolutely incredible. It's so cool. Then we have the AH-1F Cobra coming in to support. AH-1F Cobra, really good unit to have at the start of the game at the moment because they can really shut down forward deployment pushes like this. So this guy's bringing in a couple of UAZs, the Gatling cannons on target, the rockets are on target, we're able to unload and hopefully kill off all of this Recon infantry. I am able to drop off the aero rifles. Unfortunately, the Black Hawk on the top side does end up getting blown up, but this Black Hawk sitting low, providing cover with the M240 as the Gatling finishes off the Aufgabe. M1A1 Abrams going to be coming across the bridge now, helping capture this sector. We've got the M1A1HA and an M48A1 Chaparral that's providing us with AA. I've also got those two Stingers in there. So the SU-27 going to be coming over and caught out by the Roland 2s of Vector here on my left side. So SU-27 for a Cobra, probably not really worth it. I did unfortunately lose my Chaparral though to an A-to-GM, so not ideal. And that's a bit scary for me at the moment because it kind of leaves me with inadequate AA. But the initial start went relatively well. We managed to kill off pretty much all of the Recon units that were coming our way with that Cobra. And now the M1A1 is asserting dominance against the rest of the units that are stuck out here in the open. So they're going to be trying to make a retreat under the fire of that M1A1HA. The M1A1 Abrams also coming out to the side to help to get involved. So now we have Muted and Wook both up against us here. The T-55s are trying to get in close towards my M1A1HAs. So I am going to want to try and focus them down. The M3A1 Bradley manages to take out one of the T-55s with its Toad 2, forced to smoke off afterwards. Fire coming in from the left-hand side here from the Marder 1A2 is going to help us deal with another of the T-55s. Now the M1A1 trying to finish off the T-80BV and does manage to land the last shot just before the smoke goes off, so that was beautiful. Now the Stinger are going to be using the smoke to conceal itself whilst it moves forwards to get in range. And whilst we do land one missile on target, we are unable to finish off the VP. So, a very action-packed start to this game. Mi-24 VP playing with fire, with that 20% ECM really paying off as these Stinger squads struggle to get the shots on target. Finally, it's going to be falling back as my Stinger misses a 3rd missile. Bit unfortunate. But we've got another Chaparral on the field now, and that should hopefully allow me to at least trade any aircraft that come in for the M1A1HAs. Now the big trouble at the moment in WARNO with using like really heavy tanks on both sides is that aircraft can get really good value for money against them. So you do need to be making sure that you shoot down aircraft when they come in to take out your tanks. So in this case, I see this aircraft coming in on the right-hand side. I'm assuming that he would probably have cluster. Turns out it's an Su-25 with a T, and thankfully Vector's Roland's going to be finishing that off, and he doesn't get a kill, so that's huge for us. But there are plenty of planes that can dive onto M1A1's HAs and kill them, like MiG-21s with clusters, like a Su-22 with cluster. There's a lot of stuff like that that can be really scary to deal with. So making sure you at least trade those is super important, which is why the heavy investment in AA. And I'm going to be obviously bringing up 2nd M48A Chaparral here to make sure that remains the case. Now a little bit scary in this position where I'm keeping all of my units really close together. I was just using this opportunity to try and resupply them as much as I could with the M113A2 supplies. But it's going to require a bit more than that, so here comes the Hammer. Meanwhile, AH-1F Cobra, it went back to reload. Unfortunately, I did forget about it. I forgot to give it a shift order to come back to the front line. But once the Hammer gets here, we will use it to resupply and fix up the M1A1 HA and the M3A1 Bradley, and then we can think about making another push, because I've got to remember to keep up that combined arms. And without the M3A1 Bradley Recon helping us lead the charge, the M1A1 HAs will be completely blind when they come up into this open area, and that will make them incredibly vulnerable to ATGMs and side shots from, you know, an ATGM flying in from over here, whilst we're also being shot from over here on the left. But so far, Vector on the left is doing a good job of holding the line. The Leopard 2A3 and the Leopard 2A4 combination doing well. He's got the Fuchs at the front, and you can see again the great use of combined arms here. So heavy tanks, he's even going to be using his IFV with the Milan. He's got the Recon in there, he's got the AA covering him, and he's also got a helicopter that's providing support with the OT-2. MiG-29 coming over. Does end up getting shot down by my AAA. Nice rockets coming in there, looking for the kills onto the Strela 10Ms. GR91s failing to kill those in one pass, all of them left very low on health. You can see the left side has held, and Muta is going to be falling back with his T-72s and T-55s. So I'm just taking it easy at the moment, waiting for the Hemet to resupply. Also, any extra points being invested into another tank now, the M1A1 HA. Going back to what I was saying earlier with the planes versus tanks, the reason you want to trade into aircraft is because you will always have more tanks than they will have airplanes. Especially like suicide potential airplanes, in a sense of like the MiG-21 clusters that have been added in the 6th Monostrelki, for example. Those ones are particularly scary to deal with. Thankfully in this case, nobody's playing the 6th, so we don't have to worry about those, but we still have Su-22s to worry about. And those come with a decent amount of ECM, which can stop them from being shot down before they drop their cluster payload over the top of your tanks. Anyway, another M3A1 Bradley going to be on the way, so that we can double up on the Recon. Always having like an extra of something to sort of be spare is kind of important. You know, if I move forwards with just my M3A1 Bradley and then it gets killed, we need that sort of contingency that can be there to remain as my Recon a little bit further back. So we'll move the one of these M3A1 Bradleys up quite aggressively, and then the other one can kind of hang back a little bit. So if the one at the front gets killed off, we're not completely blind. I'm also going to be bringing in the OH-58C, so you can see I'm even doubling up on that. And yeah, this map, when you zoom in, it's just so beautiful. It really is. The moon light over the field, creating those gorgeous shadows. Anyway, we're nearly ready to go now. M3A1 Bradley, OH-58 Scout in position. Aero rifles are going to also be moving up with us, so there's no need for them to stay in this position. We'll also, of course, want to be bringing up our Stingers, chaparrals, make sure I don't leave anything behind. Here we go. We're off. So somewhat leading the charge with my M1A1 CP, which is probably not the best idea. Having the M1A1 HA in front would be the best, with the M3A1 Bradley just behind, because keeping the Recon alive is super important. Now, it's at this moment I realise there is a lot of ATGMs being set up against us. I did manage to take out one, we managed to take out a second. So that's 2 Fargos dealt with. But now here comes some Mi-24Ks looking for kills. Unfortunately, the OH-58 going to be going down, but both the Mi-24Ks are in trouble. One of them is shot down, the second one should be shortly. Su-25, meanwhile, also got shot down as it pushed to the left-hand side. There you go, both those Mi-24s taken out. And the nice thing about killing those Mi-24s is they are very limited in the packed decks. I believe in a lot of cases you can only get one in the Recon tab, so taking those out is very nice indeed. So now the arrow rifle is continuing the push, going to reveal the Mod Avtala for us, as the Mod Avtala were not put on return fire, so they fired at the arrow rifles, and then the fire support comes in very quickly from the autocannon of the Bradley, and also the M1A1 HAs. M13 going to be moving up now with some scouts. Again, more contingency when it comes to recon. If I'm going to want to continue to push with the Abrams, I'm going to need to provide them with more targets, and we need to be able to spot all of these HGMs that are flying our way. Now in this case, I'm pretty convinced that for the most part they are Fargos, but in the side armor still going to be hurting a lot, and this Abrams unfortunately takes a side hit and is clustered soon after. Su-22 does get shot down by my numerous AA, but we do end up losing the M1A1HA. I think I lost both my M1A1HAs there. This one on the left here. Maybe it was just the one, because this one was already falling back. Regardless, taking out those planes, super important. And the one thing that's really nice about Chaparrals, we saw the seed come over. The Chaparrals aren't radar, but they still have really good range against aircraft, like 3,500 meters. So you can use them to shoot down seed with great effectiveness. So the M1A1HA here, I'm pushing it back up preemptively before it's fully fixed, because I already have the engineers moving up to try and get into the edge of this town. We've also got another scout unit on the way. Again, doubling down on the recon. We did just lose the Bradley on the right hand side, so making sure that I have those covering my heavy tanks is super important. Chaparral is going to remain close to keep trading any aircraft that come in and deal with any helicopters for us. And Vector's also managing to make moves on the left hand side here with his Leopards and his Marders and his Recon and his Leaders, and he's also got his own helicopters in here. So yeah, just a really solid combined arms push between me and Vector is smashing through the front line here on the left hand side. On the right hand side, the team's done very well as well, but I think that's because most of their team was kind of skewed over to the left side of the map. But they've done a good job regardless, and that is pushing us a +4 on the map. And we're able to get these scouts into a really good position now. I'm looking to be in a position where I can maybe engage a leader that would be on the backside of this sector, and we're also going to be trying to get a leader into this sector in order to contest it. But I can't really put my M1A1 in the backside of this sector just yet, because it's kind of risky for me to put it that close to the town when I don't know if there's any sort of infantry hidden deeper. Like if there was a couple like Monostraki back here and they jump forwards and just shoot the M1A1 in the side armor with an RPG, that could end really badly. Now we're going to be coming under fire from the rocket artillery. Again, on this map, it just looks so good. You can see the little rockets flying through the air. But the M1A1 and the Chaparral managed to get out of dodge, so we don't end up losing too much. The Chaparrals are the main things that I'm concerned about losing, because if they target the Chaparrals and take out all the Chaparrals, then the tanks are incredibly vulnerable to aircraft, and then the aircraft can start trading really efficiently. Whereas if the air is up and they go for the airstrikes, then they might kill the tanks, but then the aircraft always die, and then they might run out of aircraft, and then I have more tanks than they have aircraft, and then we win. Like, that's kind of basically how you've got to look at it. Sometimes in this game you've just got to accept the trades. The M1A1 HA slowly creeping up. We've got the Bradley with us, we've got the M1138 3A Cav. I'm going to be sending this forwards more aggressively because it's less expensive than the Bradley, so I'm not as concerned about losing it. I really need to try and keep eyes on the HGM here, but it's very difficult at the moment. You can see that it has line of sight onto the chaparral, this little cone here, but I can't get line of sight with like my Abrams and such. Lucky in this case, managed to pull far enough away that the Conkers miss. I don't know if they lose line of sight at the last minute there or if they just were missing, but finally one lands on target. Cobra's joined us once again to melt those KDA Schützen. Scouts have now found line of sight directly onto the Conkers, so I'm hoping to be able to take that out. Meanwhile, M1A1HA has made it up to this tree line. Vector's managed to get the 2A3 into the left side with some smoke. Things are going very well, but we're still having to micro backwards and forwards to make sure that we don't take any unnecessary losses, which would then allow our opponents to push back with considerable force. So just trying to finish off these KDA Schützen, and we're going to want to try and take out the Conkers here on the left hand side. Anytime the Conkers move into these like left buildings, it's easy for me to find because the scouts are like right here spotting them. It's just this building was really difficult for me to get line of sight onto efficiently with the tanks. I probably needed to move this M1A1HA over a little bit in order to engage that. But now we have infantry in the town. It's just a matter of providing correct fire support onto these infantry so that the aero rifles and the engineers can remain alive. MiG-27 coming in there with the laser guided bomb. That's another big threat to heavy tanks that you really have to be careful of, especially on the pack side when you're using T-80UDs. Things like the Strike Eagle can be super efficient. You just got to make sure, again, that you have enough AA to make it not worth them throwing that Strike Eagle towards you. So, M113 still providing great fire support. The fact it has the recoilless and the 50 cal makes it really good. But another M48 going to get caught out by the Conkers before I end up killing it. And that's just me not really dealing with that properly. Yeah, as I mentioned, I should have just drove the M1A1 over to the left to be able to shoot that directly. This M1A1 currently waiting for resupply. We got the M113s on the way. These guys only have 500 supply, so that's not going to be enough to fully fix that. But it's a start, and we can bring in the Hemmet afterwards once it's ready to go. MiG-21's coming in with the rockets here, pretty nasty. Just managed to get the M1A1 down pretty low. Only 4 health on that. I don't want to leave it in position here because it will get targeted by more aircraft. So here comes some rocket artillery. Vector smashing the town for me with that cluster. We'll kill off any light vehicles and chip the infantry, lower their cohesion, make it a lot easier for my aero rifles to do the job. Like, these aero rifles have been full strength for a long time. I'm even going to be able to get these engineers away. All this infantry coming forward is getting absolutely minced down the road here by the Bradley and the M1A1, so we're maintaining a really good position here against constant threat. And it's just quite simply down to that good combined arms. Recon, tanks, AA, and also some helicopter support. So now we've basically whittled down all of that infantry. We're starting to move up here into the town. That's going to allow me to move up the M1A1 Abrams, because we're now covered by the fire team and the aero rifles. Not long now till victory. Only 2 minutes left at the current +3. Alpha jets coming over with some HE bombs, and they will be able to help damage some more of the infantry there. So not too bad. Him moving all the way up here, just going to try and get those scouts fixed up, resupply the stingers, have the M1A1HAs ready and waiting in position. M1A1 moves in there, +5 now on the clock. Only 33 seconds to go. Now a Cobra from Grim helping us out as he brings up some engineers to push up here. He's also got his own M1A1 Abrams CP. Here comes the Black Hawks once again. Get a nice cinematic landing from the Black Hawks whilst the Cobra covers them. And off they go. Into the distance as the game comes to a close. Awesome stuff. Really, really good game. 3,475 kills, 1,310 losses. You can see Vector on my left flank getting the 4,390 kills to 2,090 losses. So together we managed to push through pretty brutally with our heavy tank divisions. The AH-1F aero rifles doing very well for us. The M1A1s, of course, doing fantastic. They are the backbone of this division. And we had the Bradleys providing that good recon, Stingers, Chaparrals, making sure to trade those aircraft and helicopters. Yeah, it all went really, really smoothly, and we managed to push through to great effect. On those big open maps, these armored divisions are definitely the way to go. That's it for now. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.